Hey guys, what's up? And welcome to my second guide. This one is about the importance of repositioning yourself after you have given away your position. Alright, let's go ahead and get started with a few examples. When coming in hot to a new compound, you want to seek some cover so you are not killed instantly. Right now, you have very little information about the area. When the area has multiple buildings, you want to avoid the larger ones because those are the ones people tend to choose when they are hiding. Right now, you need to be listening for footsteps and checking the windows of the other buildings. At the same time, you need to keep moving around so you are not an easy headshot. After a few moments, you should make your way to the next building to verify the area is safe. If an enemy spotted you when you first arrived, by changing your position, they may move in an attempt to keep you in their line of sight. This will give you information about their location if they are not careful. Make sure that you recheck the windows before you move up further so nobody sneaks up behind you. After you are done checking around and you feel safe, feel free to look around for some loot. Just make sure you are always listening for movement. Hopefully you heard the shuffle of that enemy. That was the sound of somebody giving away their position by swapping weapons. Something as small as that is a huge deal when you are always listening for sounds that are out of place. So I'll replay that last bit in case you missed it. I'll also try to figure out the location based on the sound. He's on the other side of the wall that I keep looking at. So I decide this is a good time to use a nade, but I accidentally throw a flash and kind of hit myself with it. Notice that there are no extra sounds. He decided to stay put. So now we're going to throw a nade and circle around in case he decides to run. We use the distraction to reposition ourselves behind the enemy and go for an easy kill. In this example, the enemy stayed put, but he should have relocated once he was aware that we knew somebody was there. That was clearly his mistake. Most of the time you can expect the other guy to turn around and get the hell out of dodge. After clearing the area, we can move towards a circle. The next circle is towards a large city and I do not have time to go around, so I decide to take the car and go in hot once more. So right now the plan is to get somewhere in the center of the very next circle. If you're going to drive by a city, make sure you go along the outskirts if you can, instead of going through the middle. So in this match, I get shot at and then I end up taunting the guy, but that's when karma shows up and kicks me in the ass. So we take plan F and dip into the nearby buildings. I continue keeping an ear out and I end up shooting at a vehicle that's driving by. In this scenario, this is a mistake because I do not have information about the area, and I could have just put one foot in the grave. We are not too far from the next circle, so I decide to go ahead and start running for it. Because I gave away my position, somebody is probably out there looking for me, likely the guy that I shot at. Sure enough, there's somebody up on the hill that starts taking shots at me, and I gotta defend myself. Well, I'm getting molested because I keep aiming just over his head. After healing up, it's a good idea to reposition ourselves so that he's aiming in the wrong place. So I'm clearly losing this fight, but I need to do something to change the momentum. So I'm stuck playing the healing game and I end up running out of first aid. So I decide to re-peek and notice that he isn't there anymore. This is my chance to reposition myself once more. I decide to burn my adrenaline shot so that he cannot loot it in case I die. I continue to keep an ear out and I hear shots coming from his direction and decide to take this chance to move towards the buildings under the assumption that he got attacked from behind. And it turns out I was wrong. By changing my location multiple times, I gained distance from where he thought I was. I ended up getting revenge, and I go to loot his body before the circle closes in. Thankfully, I didn't miss his head that time. In this next example, I'm once again with Frost. We approached his compound to loot and ended up meeting some other players here when we thought it was safe. This one is faster paced, and both groups are constantly repositioning themselves, which makes it harder to win initially. I continue to show off my nade skills, so make sure you take some notes. Just remember to rely on sounds and go for it. By the way, that was a joke. Don't really nade like I do.
Ooh, okay. Northwest of us, the next building, I think.
Oh shit.
Is that your nade?
Yeah.
Oh my god, I did the same thing you did.
I did the same thing again.
Oh my god, there's a window up on the top floor of that direction. Top floor, far left window on my side. Where he goes. Jumped out. Fuck. Nice.
Now, repositioning doesn't have to be that extreme to be useful. By simply changing your location to get a better angle, it can make all the difference. These next ones are taken from endgame scenarios where slight repositioning won the game. Being aggressive with repositioning really helps out. Let's go ahead and take a look at our final example. So at this end game clip, we can see the next circle is a pretty terrible one. There are buildings at the southern end we can go to, but those are likely already taken and we want to win this game, not finish in top 10. So we avoid it and instead notice that there's a single shack that is closer towards the center of the circle that has some trees in the area. Luckily, there's a buggy nearby that a person took before I gunned him down in that building that we will use to get closer to the shack. So we don't want to run for it on foot because we have to cross an open field and that will make us easier to spot and be killed. As you drive up towards the shack, see if the door has been opened. You want to keep your crosshairs on the door at all times. Here I end up getting shot at, so I take the risk and I just rush right in. I don't close the door in case I hear any footsteps, that way I can push without any delay. Just keep checking your surroundings, so that way you don't eat a nade. Do not spend a long time peeking, because you expose yourself to everybody else when you do. If you don't see anything, just move on. So right here, I noticed a guy running into the shack. So I decided to get aggressive and use the buggy to plow into the building looking for an easy kill. Normally this is totally a risky move, but I decided to take it because it is highly unlikely that multiple people came from the open fields in that direction. Oh, I either missed or he kept on running. I continue to keep an eye out, but I don't see anything. I've totally lost the target. He's actually prone by the rock, but I didn't see him when I played this. I just made a hell of a lot of noise, so I retreat into the shack and boost up. Now, I'm expecting there to be people nearby, so I need to get ready for a fight. Now that we killed that guy, we know the location of at least 2 other people, one towards the east and the other towards the trees that are next to us. I decided to take cover from the gunshots that came from the east, and I'm gonna focus on the guy near me, who is by far a larger threat. Once again, I showcase my elite nade skills. Surprisingly, that guy that has been camping in the trees behind us didn't take that opportunity to kill us. I guess he's not that confident. Now, you can either camp that shack and play the waiting game to increase your chances of winning, or you can do what I do by default and continuously scan your surroundings trying to get as much information as you can. Just remember to keep moving around so you don't get shot. I usually wait around when the circle begins to close so I can see anybody moving. I'm so surprised I haven't heard anything from that guy in the trees. That guy has got some real patience. I tend to play more on the aggressive side, and I take shots at people when I hear them. Now, you don't have to do that if you want to remain hidden. Now that I know where one of the last 2 guys are, I decide to use the circle to my advantage and wait for him to approach. I'm not exactly in the best position right now because the majority of the circle is to my back. I'm relying on the fact that most people play very passive until they are in a 1v1 scenario. That is when they attack and take the win. When you are in the end game, it is important to stay fully boosted so that you get the speed benefit and always be ready to be shot at in the back. Once again, repositioning myself saved my life and won me the game.